Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got an excellent show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel here. So this is a show that actually wasn't something that I was planning to produce, but based off of a poll that I put up not too long ago, and the result of this poll, which is unlike anything I have ever seen on this channel, I said this is something worth talking about. So as you guys are aware, the NBA season is drawing quickly to conclusion. Most teams have 6 or 7 games left to play. In the Western Conference, in the crowded Western Conference, there's still a lot more movement that could take place. So right now we have the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are the number 1 seed. They've won 11 in a row. They're just running away with it. The Houston Rockets, who are 50 and 27, they just won another game. The Lakers, who moved up to the 3 spot, who are now who won 2 in a row. The Nuggets, who lost 2 in a row, who dropped below the Lakers after that loss. Then you had the Golden State Warriors, who have won 3 in a row. You had the Timberwolves, who have won 3 in a row. Then you have the Clippers, who have won 2 in a row. And then you have the Grizzlies. Damn, they lost 4 in a row. They went from the 5th to the 8th seed, and the Clippers moved up. So I just said, let me put a poll up on the channel, because I was watching a segment on ESPN First Take, and Marcus Morcini was up there, and he was essentially saying that he gives the Lakers and the Clippers a better chance to come out of the Western Conference than he does the Oklahoma City Thunder, which I disagree with him. But anyway, so I put up a poll on the channel, right? And I only put up this poll about an hour or so ago, and it's unlike any poll I've ever seen. The question was simply this, and I want to show you guys the poll. What team would you pick to win in a first round matchup, the Lakers or the Clippers? After 764 votes, and it's going to get thousands and thousands as time goes on, it is a dead tie. A dead tie. 50-50 down the line. I cannot even remember the last time we put up a poll that was a dead tie after this many votes. And I was like, okay, this is interesting here. People have a lot of interesting things to say in the comments, which we're going to get to right now. And I also want to get into a little bit of the team stats and just kind of weigh in on what I think this matchup could potentially be. So let's get into that now. Okay, first of all, let's get into some of what people were saying. One guy says, depends if Kawhi Leonard is playing and reliable. Another guy says, if Kawhi plays the Clippers. Another guy says, go Clippers. Another guy says, Clippers in 6. One person says, refs will take care of that. Don't worry, Lakers. Another person said, the Lakers should win, but they have LeBron dragging them down. Depends if LeBron decides to actually put forth effort and if he allows Luka to close games. Another guy said, Kawhi and Harden eliminating LeBron and Luka will be great for the sport. Another person says, I'm picking anybody who is playing the Lakers. Another guy says, Lakers win. I have no confidence in the Clippers, so my dislike for the Lakers can't supersede. Another person says, my king. One other viewer says, Lakers and refs. Another guy says, if both teams are healthy, the Clippers have a better overall team than the Lakers. The Lakers have no center that can guard Zubac. Luka can't guard James Harden, and LeBron cannot guard Kawhi, and Austin Reeves cannot guard Norman Powell. The Clippers are the better defensive team and have better depth pieces, so it should be the Clippers. But if health becomes a problem again, then the Lakers win. So that's just what some of the viewers said. Now, my plea to you is I want you guys to go and vote on this poll. I want to see if it changes after a few thousand votes, because I've never seen nothing like that where the decision is so split. And I think it's important that we mention this. There is a possibility that these teams could face each other in the playoffs. If the Lakers are somehow able to hold on to that 3 seed and the Clippers, no. If the Lakers somehow fall, let me just remember. So it's the 1 and the 8, then it's the 7 and the 2, then it's the 3 and the 6. Yes. So if the Lakers fall to the 4th seed and the Clippers move to the 5th seed, these guys could potentially face each other, which I think would be box office. Now, let's look at the Lakers' schedule moving forward before we look at some of the team stats. They just came off in a very impressive win against the Denver Nuggets. So the next opponent they have is the Warriors. I'm going to be rooting for the Lakers in that game, because if the Lakers win, then they knock the Warriors down a peg. So they have the Pelicans, who I think the Lakers are going to win. But then they have the Thunder 2 games in a row. So the next 4 games, they have some serious threats, but I think the Lakers could be victorious. If we look at the Clippers have, who do they have next? They have the Dallas Mavericks for the next 2 games, and they have the Spurs. If the Clippers take care of their business, the Clippers should be able to win all 3 of these games. And then they have a very tough opponent in the Houston Rockets, the Kings, and then they have the Warriors at the end of the season. I think it's also important to bear in mind that the Clippers have the season series right now. So if they beat them, that would be great for them. So you have that. Now let's look at some of this team stats. Okay, let's look at the Lakers team stats this season. Right now, they are the number 19th offense in the game. In terms of points per game, yeah, they're 19th. Opponents' points per game, they're 12th. So they're scoring 113 a game and giving up 112. In terms of their offensive rating, they're number 14th, and their defensive rating, they're number 14th. So they're pretty much a middle-of-the-pack team. They're good defensively, and they're good offensively. Let's look at the Clippers. On the Clippers side of things, let's see how this team is looking this season. So points per game, they're 20th. So the Lakers have a better offense. Defense, however, the Clippers are much better. They allow 4 less points per game. So they score about 112. So the Lakers actually score more than the Clippers. But the Clippers give up 4 less points per game at 108. Offensive rating, they're 18th, as I just said. Defensively, they're the 4th ranked defense in the NBA. Now, if we look at the depth chart, if we look at both teams have a big 3. The Lakers, their big 3 is quite clear. LeBron, Luka, Austin Reeves, in terms of their players that can go out there and score a lot of points. The Clippers, you have Kawhi Leonard, Norman Powell, James Harden, right? Now, if they were to face each other in the playoffs, I think the Clippers will have some problems. But the Clippers are adept at playing against Luka Doncic because for the 3 times they faced him in the playoffs, they beat him 2 of those times. The 3rd time, Kawhi was not healthy at all. But Luka has been having big games against the Clippers. And the reason that is because Ty Lue elects to keep Ivica Zubac on the floor, who's a very important piece this year. And because of that, they pick and roll him to death, and Luka always gets the switch. And whenever he gets the switch on Ivica Zubac, it's barbecue chicken. The question then becomes, how long does Ty Lue go to that? And the reason teams usually try to take advantage of that matchup is because they're trying to force Ty Lue to take Ivica Zubac off the floor, right? So if they keep attacking that player, their hope is to get him off the floor. And he's found ways in the past to ultimately beat the Mavs. Now, something important worth mentioning. People keep talking about, oh, Luka Doncic cooks the Clippers, he cooks Kawhi and all of this stuff. When was the last game you saw Luka Doncic playing against the Clippers and he got the switch on Kawhi Leonard and he kept on playing against Kawhi Leonard or he didn't ask for another screen? They go into he goes to his favorite matchup, but if he cooks Kawhi, why doesn't he stay on Kawhi? Do you know why? Because when Luka plays Kawhi Leonard, he shoots in the 30% when Kawhi Leonard is his primary defender. His primary defender. Kawhi was able to guard Giannis, for God's sakes. He was able to guard Giannis, who is way more physically imposing than Luka Doncic. He guarded him. He can't guard Luka. Whenever he guards Luka, his offensive numbers, he shoots below 40%. So they're going to have to make a decision on whether or not Kawhi is going to have to fight over those picks or not. I think if they play the Lakers, it's going to be a very difficult series for the Clippers to win because of that Luka matchup. And I don't know the personnel that they have to guard LeBron. Now, Dunn is an amazing defender. He should be one of the Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Son is an amazing defender. But I think it'll be a very difficult series. And if I had to pick, well, I'm going to pick the Clippers because I'm not going to pick the Lakers. But I think it'll be very, very interesting. So 2 things I need from you guys. Number 1, go vote on the poll. Let me know your thoughts on it. And number 2, the question is simply this. Who do you think wins in a series? Let me know, and in how many games you think either team wins. Let me know in the comments, and we catch you on the next show. Peace.